As we continue on our journey. Some of you took part in Mass, and you were privileged to do that, but for others, just a few minutes of reflection on today's readings. We're going to hear today, if you look at the readings, about the joy of the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit brings joy. And the readings, and Pope Francis today preaching about them, also contrasted that with the paralysis of pessimism. The paralysis of pessimism. That we can get stuck in this kind of wallowing and complaining and bitterness and apathy. So we have a choice between those two, joy and the paralysis of pessimism. In the psalm today, it's the psalm that I recommend so much now, Psalm 46. God is our refuge and strength, a helper close at hand in time of distress. Though the earth should shake and the mountains plunge into the depths of the sea, we fear not, because again, God is our refuge. It's interesting, the next line is that there is a stream whose runlets gladden the city of God. There's a stream that gladdens the city of God. Yesterday we heard in the readings that we are the city of God. The Jerusalem referred to in yesterday's reading, that's God's city. We are his city now, members of his people. And he created us to be glad, to be a delight, to be full of joy. That's what we heard yesterday. Now today we hear the source of that joy, that this river flows into the city. And we know that river is the Holy Spirit. The living water is the Holy Spirit. And first reading today is from the prophet Ezekiel, talking about this water flowing from the temple and how it, the stream just gets deeper and deeper and deeper, until eventually it floods over his head and he has to swim through it. It's a sign of what the Lord wants to do, to flood us with the grace of the Spirit. Starts out as a trickle that can break into that stream bed, but then it becomes ankle deep, and then knee deep, and waist deep, and then up to our heads. He wants to send the Spirit upon us. But we can block that. In the gospel today, there's a man that's paralyzed, and he sort of complains. Jesus comes to him and says, "Do you want to be healed?" And rather than saying yes, he just complains. This is what the Pope pointed out. "Oh, I've been here 38 years. No one ever helps me, and the water stirs up, and I can't get there in time." Well, first of all, why does the water need to stir up? Second of all, there's not a single person in 38 years that helped him. The Pope says the man was apathetic. Probably just like complaining, never wanted to be healed. Says it's a danger for us to get stuck just as a complainer, as a pessimist, like salt water, wallowing in the salt water. But the water of the Holy Spirit, the reading tells us, comes in and it can make even salt water fresh. As that stream floods in, it actually can make that salt water that is not life-giving, it can make that water fresh and make it life-giving. Life-giving so that we can have the joy of the Spirit, that we can be flooded with, rushed with the joy of the Holy Spirit. So that's our prayer today. Rather than being paralyzed in pessimism, to be filled with the joy of the Spirit. I point you to our website. The front page of the website has a prayer for the Holy Spirit, the Come Holy Spirit prayer that I mentioned this weekend. You can go blccsouth.org. It's like Brainerd Lakes Catholic Churches, blccsouth.org, and it's just below the embedded video there. And take that prayer and pray it every day for the joy of the Spirit. God bless you.